Welcome to week 2 of FBS Suggests. Last week we talked about Nightwish and their latest album called Endless Forms Most Beautiful. This week we're going to be staying in Finland and talking about Swallow the Sun and their latest album called Songs from the North I, II, and III. Yes, it is a triple album that was released in November of 2015 and is the 6th studio album from this melodic doom or death metal band. Now, like I said, melodic death metal. I discovered this subgenre by first listening to a band called Insomnium. And the way I discovered this album was I was just clicking around the internet. On some Insomnium, I came across a song called Wind Torn by Saturnus and was just blown away by its beauty. And so I just kept looking at this subgenre and I found an almost brand new album called Songs from the North, I, II, and III from Swallow the Sun. And this is what I'm suggesting that you listen to this week. It is a long, lengthy album. It is 21 songs in total with 3 discs. I'm not looking at how long it is exactly right now, but the thing is pretty darn lengthy. The first CD, Swallow the Sun, Said Themselves, continues in the vein of the albums before it from Swallow the Sun. It's first-rate death or doom metal. The second disc is a beautiful acoustic Fourier unplugged in the darkness. The third disc is the most extreme album out of the 3, a complete ride into the most horrific abyss of finely crafted, conscience-crushing funeral doom. So basically, like with melodic death metal, the general feel of the instruments is ambient, and most of the lyrics, at least the male lyrics, are very rugged, gritty, dark, doom, death. There is sometimes where there's a female voice that comes in and it's really soft and soothing singing that's happening. The second disc is a little on the softer side, of course, it's acoustic. And then the third disc, Song from the North, number 3, is the grittiest vocals of all and the most powerful, crunchy, like just dark feeling of all the 3 discs. My favorite of the 3 discs is actually number 2, the acoustic one. And all of it plays right along into the album artwork that goes along with it. It's a lady, she's wearing a tree-looking thing on her head. The colors of the pictures, of the photos, just tie into really, really well of the ambient, kind of chilled out feeling that I get from listening to this album. My favorite song on the entire record is on Song from the North, number 2. It is Coordinates, which are 6650 north, 2840 east. It is purely instrumental, and it is metal that isn't metal. It's not metal at all, really, but let's just pretend that it is. That's anti-anxiety. And if you've ever listened to me talk before, you know that I am big on things being anti-anxiety and curing my biggest problem in my life, which is anxiety attacks frequently. This is a song that will help cure that. It's the last track on disc number 2, and the coordinates actually lead us to Sella, Finland, which I'm not exactly sure if Swallow the Sun is from there. I'm assuming they are, and if you type these coordinates into your Google Maps search or your Google Earth search, it shows you're at the edge of a little beautiful mountain town, and it's a majestic scene, and majestic, that is the word that I would use to describe this triple disc set. It is large and full of beauty. All of the songs on this record are just beautiful. The female vocals that I mentioned just add to the majesty of the whole thing. I love this record. In the future, I will be diving in deeper to it and going to be doing a full rock review of the album where I'll talk about each track individually and then the whole thing as one. But right now, this is just my suggestion to you. I think that you need to be checking out this album on the week of December the 7th through December the 14th. I am going to be diving into it deeper along with you during these next 7 days. You can talk to me about it on Twitter, of course, at FlyingBrianJ, at FlyingBrianShow, or in the comments section down below. Let's talk about our feelings on this album. I'm doing this Flying Brian or FBS suggests all the time because I want you to listen to this music along with me and then we can discuss it. I'm really looking forward to diving in deeper to this album and then giving a full review of it later on. I'll put a link in the description box below for you guys to easily access Swallow the Sun, Songs from the North 1, 2, and 3, and various places throughout the World Wide Web. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you guys are going to enjoy this album as much as I have already. I look forward to seeing you next week on the next episode of FBS Suggest. Thanks again for hanging out, guys. Namaste.